Hi, beautiful Cancer. It's Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your February 2018 Soul Tarot reading. It's really wonderful to be here with you. And as I promised at the beginning of the year, I am going to start with an image. Spirit has asked me to do that because of the shift in energy that has happened. There's some energy, some information, some knowledge, Spirit says, that will come through to you by gazing into the image that is the Spirit theme for your reading. So I'm just starting with that. And I'm going to toggle over. I just want to give you a chance to look at that. I've just posted a news and announcements video. I'm way behind this month. Last month it was ice storms. This month we did have some more crazy weather, but I got the flu. And I was flat on the couch for a week. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. That's how I'm standing right now. I'm much better, but I'm behind. So let me toggle over and say hello. Hi, everybody. That's the way it is, right? I'm doing my best to no longer stress about things that I can't change. So I'm making the videos. They're going to come out when they come out. Hopefully, the first, the second, the third, I'll be able to roll these out, so you'll be watching this then. So, your reading today is very exciting. For those who are new, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. And for all the returning viewers, thanks for being here. The community that we have created over the course of 2017 is really beautiful, very vibrant. So I thank you again for your presence and for all your love and encouragement. For me, this is still a relatively new journey. It's just a year since I started down this pathway. So, as always, I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot cards developed by Caitlin Matthews. There are a lot of things happening with the energy patterns this month. What I'm seeing is a very similar theme coming out through all the readings. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry, one more thing. If you're looking to schedule a private reading of any kind, scroll below the video into the description box, click the Show More tab, and you'll see a phrase that says Show More. Just click on it. That's a tab. All the information's there. Okay? My email's all the way at the bottom, and all the information about the types of readings, the PayPal link, the time zone converter. I talk to people all over the world all the time, so don't worry about your time zone. We can always work it out. All right, so let me toggle back. That is the beautiful Woman of Battle. She stands over the top of your reading. It's the first card out, and it indicates the Spirit theme, the message that the Spirit guides that come through me want to speak about, particularly with you this month. So what I was starting to say is the way the energy pattern for you, Cancer, is happening is reflective of all the readings that have come out so far. There is a discussion about the way the energy that was built up in 2017 and having come through the solstice and emerging and evolving. So that's the theme that continues. And I love that for you, this woman appears. There's been a lot of sacred feminine energy coming out through the readings, always in concert with the sacred male energy. And in your particular reading this month, the reflection of what is happening on the spirit realm and what is happening on the earthly walk illustrates the sacred, Spirit says, the energy of the sacred that we understand here on this plane of existence by virtue of the notion of the yin-yang. And Spirit's been speaking about that a lot and is telling me right now it's going to continue because there's deep information there that we have yet to ponder. So Spirit is using that illustration. This beautiful woman is one of the depictions of Queen Maeve in Ireland, who was a very powerful, very significant figure in the history, the sacred history. I don't really want to take too much time to go into that. But for our purposes here, for this reading, this is a woman who remains wholly in her place. She stands firmly in herself, in her energy set point. She is a warrior, warrior-ess. She is not the queen of battle, but in some ways, yes, you could say that is true. In the ancient days, when someone sought to be the king, I'm going to toggle over and show you another picture. Before they could come to their coronation at Tara, this is a picture I took of Tara on my sacred journey in October. Before coming to the sacred stone of destiny, the king had to woo Queen Maeve, and she had to agree to be the king's consort. And without that agreement in place, you could not rise to the throne, and you could not arrive at the stone of destiny. That is how powerful this woman is. So Spirit wants to talk about the power of feminine energy and the way it moves. Given all the discussion that came out, we see that she has around her neck the sacred amulet. She has been through her initiation, as you have, Cancer, in 2017, and all the things that happened around the solstice, and going into the time of darkness, going into the passage tomb. All right, Spirit wants me to show you this picture too. Hang on a second. Spirit says, the picture you're about to see is another reflection of Queen Maeve as she stands here as the woman of battle. And these are the things that Spirit is beginning to speak to me about and wants to transmit to you. So here's the picture. I'm sure you've seen it in some of the readings that came out in the end of last year. And if you're new and you haven't, go and look at some of those readings from last year. And what I've been saying to people is, it's a lot now. There's a whole year's worth of readings there. The readings build upon each other. These are not standalone readings. This is about your soul progress and your sacred life path in your astrological set point as a Cancer. Okay? So that's what it looks like on the human realm. Queen Maeve is she's very brave and very stalwart, very ethical, often the first one into the gap. She is constantly alert to the effects and the coming of sudden change. She looks into the future. She has her personal power in her hand. That's what the spear represents. And she stands in a place of alertness about the subtle changes that are happening around her. And she has one hand open, and the winds of change blow through her hair. She has come through her process. She has Spirit's talking about having arisen out of the solstice, the days of the solstice, in this manner, coming through the passage that she was meant to have. And so that is the message for you, Cancer. The whole reading is going to be about this theme. I guess I'm just going to there's so much I want to say about this. I'm going to bite my tongue a little bit. All right, let's look at the next picture. This is the picture of you, how you stand on the earth, in yourself, under the light of the gaze of Queen Maeve, rather. All right, where do you see this? Here it comes. Cancer, look at that. Woo! That took my breath away. Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. That is the beautiful Queen of Battle. And she is here, and she and Queen Maeve gaze into each other's eyes, basically. There is something very powerful happening, Cancer. As we begin the year, Spirit, as I said, is continuing to talk about emergence, the emergence of your energy, the emergence of your true self, the emergence of your ability to see yourself as a mystical being, and how the energy flows through you, and how it works together in concert with the universe. And so Spirit's talking to me right now about the cyclical nature, and I spoke about that last month. That is what is continuing to emerge, and you will see it when the reading comes out. It's a really beautiful, Spirit's talking about signatory. I think what Spirit is trying to say is there is a deepening of the process. The evolution and the emergence is not yet finished. And these first few 2 or 3 months of 2018 are going to be focused in this way. Before you are given any tasks to do, as we unfold 2018, remember to just stand in yourself. You are in a very mystical place. The Queen of Battle, standing together with Queen Maeve, the warrior goddess. It's astounding. I wish I had a picture loaded up of Queen Maeve's chair. If you haven't seen those videos, I think there's a picture of Queen Maeve's chair in the readings from October that came out at Low Crew. So go and check some of those out. It was, let's see, Aquarius came out from Queen Maeve's chair. Leo came out from Queen Maeve's chair. Go and look at those readings and you'll see pictures. You can sort of skip through the video if you want to see that. All right. And I think there's a little video on a playlist. In the moment, I'm having a brain cramp. On my channel, there are a couple of playlists about the Sacred Passage Tombs. I think there's a video there actually about Queen Maeve's chair that has to do with the energy of the swastika, Spirit saying. So this cyclical nature, the swirl of your energy, the way the water element moves. Spirit's talking to me about the memory of water. It is a subject I know a fair bit about because of my background as a homeopathic practitioner. Spirit's chattering about the memory of water. You can go to YouTube and you can watch a video called The Memory of Water. There are several of them. One is very scientific. It is work done by a Nobel laureate. And there's another one that actually just shows what happens when you put words like love and gratitude onto a vial of water with your thought process. It changes the crystal form of the water. So there's a lot, as you can tell, there's a lot coming through about that. The notation that I want to make for you is that that is something Spirit wants you to continue to pay close attention to. The cyclical nature of water. There's a lot of water in your reading today. So there you are, standing on the earth, very firm in your place. Queen Maeve has her gaze upon your progress, and you stand as the Morrigan. This woman, the Queen of Battle, also like Queen Maeve, has been made very wise. She is incredibly analytical and intelligent. She's very autonomous, obviously, and independent. She has overcome many obstacles, and she is innately dedicated to personal liberty, okay? So she has a type of power that brings transformation, and the transformation comes by dealing in a very forthright manner with everything that is stale and ripe for change. And so you're being called in this moment to look deeply at your own process, at your own cycle, and make some independent decisions about the cyclical nature of your life and where you are meant to grow and what is meant to change in a very deeply spiritually, mystically based way. Clearly, the Queen of Battle is about the power of the mystical realm. And you know what? Forgive me. I forgot to show you the card. Here it is. There you go. Look at that woman. Wow. That is about being able to utilize the power of the mystic. She's a shamaness. And the battle that she has reign over has everything to do with your experience as a spirit being here. To be able to be in touch with the deepest part of the mystery of who you are. And you see her third eye? That is the place from which she functions, and that is why the raven headdress is on her head. She literally travels back and forth. Okay, it's very awesome. So let's take a look. I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to toggle down to the human experience that you are going to have in the month of February that is continuing to set the stage for your evolution and your emergence. Last month, Spirit chatted through a lot about the cyclical nature of water. We've been talking about the water element, or I've been talking, Spirit's been talking for several months now. So that journey is deepening as the evolution and the emergence of your energetic set point continues. So Spirit's talking about you as an individual, about the notion of Cancer, about the implication of a water element here on the earth. It's non-stop chatter. And so now we see these two incredible women working together to bring forward the shift and change that you are involved in. So here are the cards for the human realm. The very first card is a prophecy that is the augury of art. Let me show you. I'll toggle over and I'll show you the card. Okay. Look at that. That is the sacred cauldron. And what this beautiful woman is doing is manifesting what is meant to come out of the sacred cauldron. This is about the beginning of joy. And I know you've seen this card has come up in your reading before in the last couple months. So that theme, again, like I said, is continuing. Spirit really wants to speak with you about this notion. You are continuing to evolve out of the sacred cauldron of all existence with your energy set point. You are coming into this ability. There's a prophecy about how you are evolving and how you are shifting and changing. And you are going to recognize some of these cards because they've been a repeat pattern for you over time. So now, having come through the solstice and come into the days of 2018, another prophecy, the very first step of your human walk, is the ability to manifest that which you seek and that which you desire for your own set point. It's not about having wealth and riches and, I know you understand that. Sometimes I think I just need to say it out loud. This is about manifesting joy because you are going to be working very deeply with the energy that comes into you in a cyclical way, the way the water element behaves on the earth, streaming into your heart chakra. So this is all about a fertile moment. This is a woman manifesting what she has the power to bring forward. All right? So there we see Queen Maeve and the beautiful Queen of Battle. We see the augury of art. The very next card is the quest that this prophecy sends you on. The quest of skill. Each one of these cards uniquely discussing, if you will, something about the feminine aspect. All the power of the feminine aspect in the deeply mystical way that it manifests, Spirit says, here in this plane of existence. The way it is utilized, the way it is represented, the visions of woman and the function of woman is to allow souls to enter this realm. From above, Spirit says, from the ethers, souls travel on the feminine energy in order to enter into this realm. And there we see the depiction of your own travel. You are having a rebirth. You are manifesting yourself. You are manifesting the evolution of your energy, and you are going to come into a very deep, quiet, mystical understanding of your being and your set point and your energy and the way energy flows into you and through you onto the earth. Because when you think about it, when you think about the feminine energy, if you distill it all the way down to sort of the energetic realm, Spirit says, a woman who is with child is carrying sacred energy that is slowly forming into mass in order to take the shape of a human being who intends to come here, a soul who is in the process of creating their human form, that has to come through the feminine. Spirit's talking about that pathway. And just like that pathway, the feminine pathway. We are lost here on this earth in, because of history, right? Because of all of our cultural set points and our social norms and all the things that have come before, Spirit says. It's time to wash that away and to manifest our knowledge and our understanding of what that pathway really is. And that is why every single one of these cards has something to do with the power of the mysterious feminine, the mystical feminine, and the water element. It's uniquely beautiful, Cancer, speaking directly to you this month in a very profound way, and I'm very grateful. So let me toggle over. I want to show you this card. Look at that. Do you see the salmon? This is about returning to the source. All right? Source knowledge. And all of these Spirit's calling them the bird people. Go and look, if you don't know anything about the animal medicine cards, Spirit's saying, go and look. All right? A very skillful quest you are on. While you regestate, while you come into this deep, mystical place. The leaves that flutter in this card are often associated with a feeling of overwhelm. All right? So it's Spirit's way of saying, yes, it's happening, it's on. And it might be a little intense. Who knows what will happen? Because, there you go, right? Oops, I should do it this way. Look. Nothing could be clearer to me as a channeler and as a card reader. I love the way, I'm sorry, it's starting to be afternoon here and the light's changing. I love the way, the clarity of this message. All of these animals, all of these birds are all about being in touch with the sacred realm. So if you don't know that information, go to Google or whatever your search engine is and look up the sacred implications of eagle and crow and raven and salmon and owl. And elk is a signatory of having the stamina for a long journey. And within this deck, the signatory of reincarnation, of crossing over into a new life, into a new form. And that's what's happening. All right, so let's toggle back. Look at the next card. Standing underneath Queen Maeve, the quest of art. So, next to each other, first we have on the first card on the human journey, a prophecy about the water element, about what can arise out of the sacred intention of manifestation in the light of this incredible power of the sacred feminine, the channel, if you will. All right. Next to that, the quest of skill. And next to that, the quest of art. You are going very deep. And I feel like I say that all the time. But this is deep into your own nature. And we see the signification of the salmon twice. All right. Returning to the source. That's why the shamaness is here. You're going to make a discovery. Some of you have written to me. There are a lot of things that are becoming revealed to you. Things that are just coming up, notions in your head, Spirit says. I'm getting messages from people, so I know with clarity that this is happening. You are making sacred discoveries about yourself, about your energy, about being a water element, about returning to the source, and the amazing energy that exists there that you are meant to reside in. All right, so Spirit's talking to me. I just want to show you. Do you see the salmon in both of these? There's a theme, right? Going on? Okay, so Spirit's talking to me about another card that is not here on the table, and I'm just going to talk about it. The mingler of energies. So in the past couple of months, Spirit's been talking about the cyclical nature of water and the way the energy flows, and the fact that the water element here on the earth is meant to function. Okay, Spirit's now talking about the reflection of heaven on earth, the way water cycles, right? The sun comes out, water evaporates, it rises to the heavens, moves across the earth, eventually comes together in a gas form. Rain, feeding the earth, feeding the streams, feeding the rivers. There's a great cyclical nature to your astrological set point. It is why Cancer, actually along with Pisces, one of the most empathic signs in all of the zodiac. Psychically able to be in touch with your loved ones. You're an empath, you know what is happening. That's the place in which you are evolving and emerging in that way. I believe there's some very important work that you're going to be doing as a Cancer within this tapestry of energy that we have created. So I'm going to toggle back, and I want to show you the bridge card. Very interesting. Oops, pardon me, I forgot to click the button. Look at that, Cancer. Having been on this quest with this prophecy of art and skill and these sacred goddess energies that are all about battle, we see another depiction of feminine energy being challenged and being in a position of battle. Let me show you the card. Look at that. This is a goddess. So 3 goddesses in a row in the core of the reading. All right, let me toggle back and show you. Each one of these cards each one of these women is a sacred goddess. Each one of them has separate gifts and different kind of set point. Each one is very powerful in her own right. And when you see how they align with the cards on the human walk, you're going to be able to elicit another piece of this reading that, sadly, I don't have time to go into it because it would be hours. But just look into the alignment of the cards in the vertical display and in the horizontal rows. So we see this beautiful augury of art, a goddess calling forth that which is meant to be revealed. And here at the bridge card, the place of transition between the spiritual unfolding of your soul journey and the experience that you have of that reflected on the human realm. This is astounding to me. So this is a goddess. She was here in the mortal realm. She married a king. So a little bit sort of against her better judgment. The king was pursuing her. She said, all right, you know what, I will marry you. We're going to enter into a sacred agreement, and the agreement is you are not going to reveal me. You are not going to reveal my name or my powers. And of course he did. Because of some tomfoolery on his end, she was compelled to run a race with his fastest racehorse while she was in labor, if you can imagine. So, hell hath no fury like a woman, right? She put a curse on him. She won the race, she got through her difficulties, and she put a curse on all men that was meant to go forward for 9 generations, that they would feel the pain that a woman feels in the birth process. All right? So that men would have to do combat with the knowledge that a woman holds. And given the way this reading is coming out, let me toggle back so you can see. That is a profound notion when you look at these cards. The thing that Spirit is telling me is that for many eons, right, in the story of the card, it's about 9 generations that difficulty was meant to happen. Here are all these women, all these depictions of the goddess arising and emerging through the sign of Cancer. And what is happening, because the combat of knowledge is standing next to the Morrigan, the shamaness, and underneath the prophecy, the goddess of prophecy about the water element. We are being told, beautiful Cancer, that the spell is broken and the time for shift and change is here. The prophecy has been fulfilled. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, I'm getting all choked up. It is profoundly beautiful. And there is a notion that has been coming through to me for a long time, 20 years or more, that started when I built this house. I can't remember anymore, but I built this little house that I live in. I had help for sure, but it was an effort that I did most of the work. I was here like this woman in the combat of knowledge. I was here, going through my own race, trying to reach my destination. And in the days, right, giving a little bit of a curse to my ex-husband and whatever. And it's interesting. That was 25 years ago. Something profound has happened. And some very loving energy has arisen to heal those wounds that happened. And I won't tell you the long story because, again, time, right? That's what's happening. My lovely ex-husband and I have come to a place where we see each other now. And all the things that happened in the past don't matter. We're not going to reconnect. We're not going to have a relationship. Forget it, right? That's not what it's about. But we have come to a place in our own lives where this period is done. And that's what Spirit's talking to me about. All right? Wait till you see the next cards. I'm so thrilled at the way the cards come out on the Spirit Walk. Because look at the left, I'm going to toggle over, all right? Look at the left vertical line of cards. I wish I could make that picture bigger. On the bottom, we have the prophecy about the movement of feminine energy and the many eons of challenge that have come forward, birthing this process of shift and change that was meant to take a long time here on the earth. Right above her stands an indication of the sacred male energy, also very deeply in its sacred set point. Spirit's talking to me about the most powerful, and all, you've seen some of the cards, so, in a sense, literally, it's not true, but Spirit's talking about, let me show you the card. All right, look at that. The foundation of art. And the card at the bottom of this vertical row is the augury of art. There is some movement of the water element, the feminine element here on earth, that has brought this prophecy, because the male energy has also moved into its rightful place, deeply connected, because of the presence over many eons, Spirit says, of the Morrigan and Queen Maeve, waiting for the male energy set point to arrive at its natural home. And that is what the prophecy is about. So these two energies can now literally be flowing into and out of each other. This is about a hut that in the ancient days, people who were seeking revelatory knowledge would enter into the hut. It was like the caves. Spirit's saying the caves. That's interesting. The passage tombs. People would go there. Let me toggle back and show you this picture, okay? People would go into the passage tomb as a spirit entity after they passed away. Their bodies would be cremated. They would be brought to the passage tomb, their remains put into an altar bowl in order to await the solstice, the time when their spirit could move forward on the energetic highway. Okay, again, Spirit's talking about this. Look at the human walk. That's what Spirit's talking about. Okay, and now we see it depicted in the cards. The yin and yang, the cyclical nature of a Cancer, the sacred male energy returning to its place, very deeply in line with its own nature on this left vertical line, having accompanied, if you will, the movement of sacred feminine energy and all the difficult things that have come forward and, frankly, still continue here on this earth, but it's changing in ways that are huge. You've all seen what's going on in the media. It's very interesting to me that it's coming out this way. What Spirit's been chattering with me about for many years, I think I started to say it, I got distracted, was the return of the goddess. And that's part of the reason that I built this house, because I knew it was coming. It's been 20 years. It's here. And I'm so grateful that the sacred male energy is here as well. And these things that no longer serve us, falling away. The moment is here when the shift and the change begins to be visible. So it is time to understand the cyclical nature of your being and the flow of the energy as represented by the behavior of the water element here in this plane of existence, and take your understanding as deep as possible within you while you are in this place, pondering very deeply in order to be a recipient of the shift and change that the Morrigan brings, that Queen Maeve can bring into your life. So let's look at the center vertical row of cards. On the bottom, we see the incredible quest of skill. That quest, under the light, under the gaze of the Queen of Battle, the Morrigan, the sacred shamaness that releases that which is no longer needed and brings change without being fettered to, Spirit's saying, to the things that came through the past. That is why the combat of knowledge stands to her left. Those days are over, and these women are here to let you know. So all the way up on the top, we see the beautiful woman of art who has surely been with you before, Cancer. She's back. So Spirit says we're just going to keep having that conversation until the evolution is done. There she is. No longer encumbered by the trials and tribulations that beset her throughout time and history and human evolution. Ready to emanate that which comes into her. Ready to flow like the water sign does. This is the beautiful goddess Boan. This is the fourth goddess that's in the reading today, who became the woman of art. And she stands in line with the quest of skill atop the Morrigan, who brings her forward. And she stands protected, if you will, and in the light of these two very beautiful, sacred male energy set points. It's just intensely beautiful. Right? So for those of you that don't know the story about this card, this was a sacred woman. She went through her own mystical evolutionary process, and she eventually became the river. And her energy and her mystical ability literally was flowing out from her over the land. And she, in the end of her story, she turned into the sacred river Boyne. And it is the Boyne River Valley where all of the passage tombs, well, not all of them, many of the passage tombs and the sacred alignments of the energies between those places exist. That was her destiny. So Spirit's talking about that as your destiny. So let's look at who accompanies her. There's more talk about you emerging out of the passage tomb. All right. So this gentleman has the purple garments. He's been completely transformed. He also is radiating energy. For him, it is radiating from his hands and also from the crown chakra, right? Just like the beautiful woman of art. They've had an awakening. He has emerged, and he is able to understand himself as a warrior of art, also brought forward by the feminine prophecy on the bottom left, where we see this prophecy. That is the augury of art, the beginning of a feminine cycle here on the earth, able to be accompanied by the sacred set point. Our Spirit's talking about correctly ordered male energy. I'm going to show you this picture in case you haven't seen it. There's Newgrange. That is the place that the warrior of art has emerged from. And in fact, the place where Newgrange stands is actually in direct alignment. It's about 9 kilometers away. It is directly aligned with the passage tomb at Fornox. There's a lot of mystical information about these alignments, and these places are aligned with the sacred pyramids. Again, too much of a story for me to go into. You can see some videos on my channel about that. All right. So there is the beautiful the beautiful spirit walk that you are engaged in this way. So the foundation of art on the top left is about male energy going into the deeply mystical realm of its own nature in order to bring forward information and energy and understanding that is waiting for it in the mystical realm. It joins its energies with the beautiful woman of art, who is now flowing her energy out upon the earth into this realm. She is free now because of the presence of the Morrigan. We can see that the feminine energy has been liberated. That's part of the message. And standing next to her is the beautiful warrior of art that the augury brought forward with this prophecy. And the warrior of art, oops, sorry, wrong toggle. Lives his life from the heart center. That is the place from which he does battle, if you will. All right? Having emerged in all these ways. In companion, Spirit's saying, hang on, let me toggle back. In companion with all of the sacred feminine energy that is arising now because of the nature of the cycle that was just, Spirit's saying, it was just karmically ordered. It's what we had to go through. All right. So when the outcome cards came out, and I was sitting here gazing into all of this, and it was just kind of blowing my mind. And I was thinking about the cycle of water, the nature of water, and the yin and yang aspect. And I see, looking into all of this feminine energy, the whole first half of the reading, all about feminine energy. And I was just pondering that and the need for accompaniment by the sacred male. And the fact that the male energy, reflectively, again, Spirit's talking about in human terms, the male energy is about impetus, about creating. And it is the feminine energy that provides the pathway. Without the feminine energy, the male impetus to create goes nowhere, right? They need each other. They feed each other. They reflect each other. They are essentially one and the same, each a different aspect of the same energy. So that's what I was sitting here pondering. It took me about an hour for this reading to come out because it was so deep and I was being pulled so deep with all my ponderings. And I know I'm chatting long this month, but I just want to give it justice, okay? So that's what was going on. And 2 cards literally jumped up out of the deck while I was shuffling and slapped right down on the table. And look at that. Look at that. Cancer. That's the outcome of the reading. Okay? So Spirit's saying, queuing up for next month, getting ready to understand and move next month, I believe. We'll see what happens. Deep into the realm of the sacred male energy. Look at the way this beautiful male energy is accompanying this journey. What words could I put on it? So that is the beautiful King of Art. And the King of Art, let me toggle back and show you the card. Okay, there he is. He is, it's not technically true, right? But what Spirit's saying is that is the male replication of the Morrigan. He is a visionary. He is also of the mystical realm. He also holds his power in his hand. Let me toggle back so you can see this in concert with all the cards. He holds his power. He stands very firm. He also, his job is to resolve barriers. Spirit's saying to eliminate barriers. He is a pathfinder, just like the Morrigan. All right, Spirit wants me to hold them up together to show you. All right, here they come. There we are. It really, it makes tears kind of start welling up in my heart chakra. That is how deep the experience you're having is. So don't doubt yourself. Allow yourself to feel the intensity of this energy and the intensity of the cyclical flow, the yin and yang of your nature. The feminine energy has risen to the surface, and it is now ready to be accompanied by the sacred male. This card, whoops, put the wrong one down. All right, so this picture is about one of the sacred mystical characters in the history of mythical Ireland. All right, so this is the Spear of Lugh. He was able, as a sacred warrior, again, do you see how he's activated at the heart chakra? To clear away obstacles with his sacred vision and be able to cross back and forth to the mystical realm. So I'm going to toggle back to the picture. Look at the center row. And if you can imagine that this King of Art has been moved down to be in alignment with the Morrigan and with Queen Maeve and with the beautiful combat of knowledge. It's a beautiful unfolding of spiritual energy. And now, again, we see below the beautiful King of Art a new courtship between the male and the female. The cycle of energy, the cycle of change. Courtship with knowledge. A male courtship with sacred knowledge. Coming to a place of humility and understanding. You know, someone who is a supplicant, falls to their knees, offers gifts into the sacred realm because there has become an understanding. The prophecy has come full circle. And these two types of energy now join together. And I love that it's finished off this reading with sacred male energy because it's telling us all that the energy is ready to move forward. The portal has been opened, and I think perhaps, I don't know because I haven't had time to even look at it. There's this, we are now in an eclipse cycle again, which is where my reading started a year ago. I'm thinking that this eclipse that is coming on the 31st of January has something to do with this because of the way these cards have come out and because of the power of those eclipses and what is prophesied for 2018 as we see in the cards. Have a wonderful month. I'm going to toggle back and leave you with the picture of the cards. Spirit's talking to me about personal readings. I guess there are people who are going to have questions. At this point, go ahead and scroll below the video and send me a message if you need to. There's a lot going on. It's going to be a significant month. I would like you, Spirit's talking about the process of birth. Feel your birth happening over time, over the days of February, from the beginning of the year. It is going to continue next month, and I believe that next month we're going to talk about the journey of the sacred male energy. Because this year so far, it's all been about the sacred feminine aspect of the cycle of the Cancer energy. So I'm very excited about that. I'm wishing you, all the love that exists. Please understand that you are your purpose. There is nothing more that you need to do other than to align yourself with the spiritual journey that you are on. That is the purpose that you've been given when you came here into this realm. Everything else comes after that. And what is meant to unfold will naturally happen. That's the other story that's happening in these cards. Okay? So if you feel like you're struggling and you don't know what you're supposed to do, understand that you are doing it, focus there, and everything else happens naturally as the flow of energy continues and you come into alignment with yourself. There may be other things, right, on the list for you to accomplish as part of your destiny. But the primary item is to understand that you are your destiny. You are unfolding. So Cancer, have a wonderful month. I'll be thinking very much of you, sending all my love, and I will be looking forward to meeting up with you next month. Fate's willing, right? I'm going to leave you with the cards. Thank you, Cancer.